Welcome everyone. My name is Natalie and we are here today again talking with one of our contributors from the book Surviving My First Year of Child Loss. Welcome, Andrea.
Hi, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. And Andrea is from Romania. So one of a contributor from many, many different countries, and one of the countries I haven't ever been to. So let's assume that some of the people watching this haven't actually read the book yet. And if we were to give people a little bit of a summary of your loss, would you like to share a little bit about Francesca?
Sure. We lost Francesca 2 years ago. She was stillborn at 25 weeks. It was a complicated pregnancy, full of anxiety and things were unsure. We didn't know if she would survive or not. Unfortunately, she did pass away. It was really hard. I was feeling very confused at that time, and I was young. I still am young, but I don't feel as young anymore because of the loss and everything that we've gone through. I feel like I lost the child in me when she passed away, and I've grown into the woman that I am today. She is still missed. Her birthday was a few days ago, and it was really hard. It was harder than the first year, actually, which is surprising. I'm guessing that it was so hard because the first year when we celebrated her birthday, I was pregnant, and I did not allow myself to feel all the pain and anxiety because I was also anxious about that pregnancy. But we're still missing her.
Yeah. All of the children that are lost too soon, no matter the age or gestation, are always having a space in the family constellation, so they're always missed. And that I think is very important to be said as well for those people who haven't experienced it. So the book has been published last year in October, and your story, you actually wrote it in the first year, right?
Yes.
So looking back in relation to your loss and your grieving, where are you today with that? How is it now?
I was around, it was around 6 months after we lost Francesca that I started writing the piece, and I was still in the dark. The grief was really deep then, and I don't even remember some of the things from that time. Really, it was tough. Since then, the book has really helped me grieve the way I needed to grieve and feel the things that I needed to feel. It has helped me put my soul to rest in some sort because the pain was really bad at that time. And also what has helped me was reading the book and the stories in the book and knowing that I was not alone, and at the same time other people were doing the same soul searching that I was doing and feeling the things that I was feeling at that time. Since then, and as you mentioned, we talked last October after the book was published. Actually, no, I think it was later. Later on. At our last interview, I was pregnant with my son, Tudor. He's Francesca's brother. And I did not want to talk about this the last time we talked. We had our interview because I was feeling very anxious about the pregnancy. I was feeling anxious about what people that were going through the same pain I was going through would feel, to know that I was pregnant, and maybe they were feeling sad because they weren't getting pregnant, or feeling anxious about the pregnancy that was going on in their life. So I did not want to talk about that at that time. Our pregnancy with Tudor was also complicated. We had a few diagnoses that scared us along the way, but everything turned out to be okay. And since he has been in our lives, I feel like he has started to mend my soul. I'm not saying that we forgot about our daughter.
No.
She's still very much loved and still a part of our family. But I'm sorry, it's my phone.
That's okay.
But in the first few months after we had Francesca, people would always say, that's okay, you'll have another child, you won't feel the pain anymore. And I kept thinking another child would never replace the daughter that we lost. And he hasn't. He will never replace her. But the time that we spend together with him takes our minds away from the pain. And also, when he smiles, your heart melts. Yeah. And I always think that some little part of Francesca is also in him, and that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. So you mentioned the pregnancy after loss, which is a big topic for lots of people. And I guess anxiety as part of it, with the complications that you had, but also just being pregnant and hoping that this time it will be different. How did you manage that anxiety while you were pregnant with Tudor?
Oh, wow. I painted a lot. Just like I said in the book, that painting helped me, and the coloring books, adult coloring books helped me. I did the same while I was pregnant with Tudor. I was on bed rest since my 6th week of pregnancy, so it was a lot of time spent in bed.
Yeah.
And it was hard, but really painting helped me a lot. I did a lot of watercolor flowerets for lost parents, and that also helped me, knowing that I am also helping them grieve in their own way and remember their children. And also I had a calendar, and I would paint one piece per week, watercolor piece per week for Tudor every week. We used to call him our little squirrel, and every piece would be squirrel themed. One week the squirrel would be on a bike, other times it would be doing other activities. It kept my mind busy, because otherwise I think I would have gone insane.
Yeah, that is totally understandable. And as I said, lots of people have that experience when they're pregnant again after the loss. Now, in your case, Francesca was born at 25 weeks. And how was it for you to then give birth to Tudor, given your loss experience with Francesca? How was that?
When I was 25 weeks gestation with Tudor, it happened to be my birthday, and I was also in the hospital for the first time with Tudor. It was really, really scary, because it wasn't that the pregnancy was in danger, but I was feeling really anxious because it was the exact same time that we lost Francesca.
Yeah.
And I was unsure of the things to come. But then after the bed rest, I ended up giving birth at 36 weeks. I think I was feeling more peaceful than my husband at that time. I don't know why. I just kept thinking, we're further along than Francesca, everything is going to be okay. And I kept reassuring myself. But my husband, man, he was really, really anxious and scared. And he's like, are you sure everything's going to be okay? Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm sure. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. And it's nice that you talk about your husband, because, yes, you wrote the essay and we're speaking to you, but often the husband who's not pregnant might still feel a lot of grief or anxiety during a pregnancy after loss, even though they're not pregnant. So it's good that you talk about that, and it's also important not to underestimate what's going on, even if men in general don't speak out as often or as much as women do.
It's true.
Yeah. So looking back at all of that, since you've become pregnant again and you had another child, and looking at your grieving, is there anything that you would have loved to do more of or less of? Or if you were to give a suggestion to yourself 2 years ago, what would you tell her?
I wouldn't change much of what I did after Francesca died. I think if there is one thing that I would tell myself is that I should really not listen to what everybody else is saying around me. Everybody had an opinion when Francesca died. Everybody knew what was best for me, and everybody tried to do it their own way and make me do things that I wasn't feeling like doing. And I think that I would have given myself more confidence and not listen to the people around me.
Yeah, that is a really good piece of advice, to be mindful of your own intuition and knowing what it is you need in terms of your healing and trusting that. Now, you mentioned that you do florals for bereaved parents. Where can people find you if they're interested to see what you're doing, or if they would want to have a look at what you're doing and maybe purchase something? Do you have a Facebook page?
You can find my work on my Facebook page, Magic by Francesca. There's always a link to my Etsy shop there. And also I am on Instagram, the same name, Magic by Francesca. Obviously, I'm trying to remember Francesca every step we take. And I did learn to paint because of her, so she's always in my mind.
So it's truly Magic by Francesca.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you so much for being here today with us and giving us an update. And we spoke before because it's really interesting that when people might have read the book and read your story, they want to know where are you now? And if some of the people watching this haven't read the book, please go and purchase it. It's a non-for-profit project, so all proceeds go back to being able to sponsor copies of the book. It can be purchased on the shop on nataliehimmerich.com, and we're also going to post a link to Etsy. We have someone saying, please post a link to your Etsy shop. We will do that, Lisa, and we'll also post to Francesca's, Magic by Francesca's Facebook page underneath that. So Lisa, who's watching, maybe you want to just link to the web page where we can buy the book, where people can buy the book. So it's Natalie with thhimmerich.com. And if you want to read more about the book, it's also widely described on grievingparents.net. So I invite you all to come there and get support if you're in that state. So thank you so much for being here, Francesca.
Thank you very much.
See, Francesca is in you. Thank you so much.
I love to hear her name.
Yes, and that is
have a great day.
That is a beautiful thing to end it with, because all parents who have lost a child are loving to hear their children's names. So please name their children and mention them in cards and everything. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too.